y'all, hey, we're back for another review of Ruthless. We're on season 4, episode 18, entitled Hot on Their Trail. We pick back up at Malcolm beating the bricks off of River. They're in the tussling or whatever, and then you see Peter immediately regretting his decision to help Malcolm, which I could have paid money to predict that was going to happen. And he begs him not to hurt River, because don't hurt my man, don't hurt my baby, right? River and at one point, Malcolm falls back into Peter. Peter trying to hold him down with his legs because his hands are still bound, but he's able to shake loose. You know, they go into fisticuffs or whatever. And River is knocked out cold because River's a lover, not a fighter. And Malcolm commences to taking his clothes and putting them on because he's going to get out of there by hell or high water. And it looks like Malcolm is double crossing Peter, but Peter's like, listen, I can help you get out of here. You know, this place is crawling, you know, with guards and stuff. I can help you get out of here. The only thing I ask is that you unchain me and you take me and River with you. We can't stay here. You've gotten out. We need to go. And then Peter tells him, listen, I'll help you again. Like I said, just take the both of us. And it seems to have softened Malcolm. He's like, all right, cool. I'll help you. And he's trying to break the chains. I don't know if it's crowbar or whatever it is. It looks like he's trying to break the chains and the handcuffs that have Peter bound, but he's unsuccessful. So he tried. I'll give him an A for effort. He tried to help him, but he could not. And then he's immediately so weak, because you got to keep in mind, like, Malcolm has been in this trailer for let's go with weeks. We don't actually have a true gauge on the timeline, but he's been drugged. He's been electrocuted in that chair. He's not been giving anything or not much to eat or drink, and so he's absolutely famished. And so he sees this sandwich that River brought in there to give to Peter, which we all know is poisoned by some chance because Elder Mother made it for Ruth, right? He's famished, and so he eats a good bit of that sandwich, and he's like, listen, I'm sorry, gotta go. And so Malcolm immediately heads out. All right, so Desiree asked Malcolm about Deputy Polk. Desiree asked Mac about Deputy Polk. Mac had to tell them about it. He claims that, and then they were like, well, why didn't you tell the sheriff? Because I don't think the sheriff knows that Deputy Polk is DOA either. And Mac tells him, like, listen, I had to sit on the information because Deputy Polk was on drugs, and that they were going to use that as some more leverage against the Highest because one of his girls was the one that did it. And they're like, okay, well, why you didn't say nothing to nobody? And, he's like, I had to do what I had to do. And they're like, okay, well, let me go to Andrew. Like, why did Andrew come in? Well, Andrew, had to clean it up. That was his instructions from the Highest. So, he didn't unalive him, but he had a job to do, and so he had to do it. And so they want to confirm the information with Andrew without Mac present. And so they're going to go, and that's what's going to happen. All right. So the Highest and Daikon, they're sitting there talking while Daikon is counting the money. And he tells Daikon, listen, I want you to go check the car for bugs. Thank you for being on your toes, and not letting me get in the car or whatever. And then he tells Daikon, hey, if you find a bug in the car, leave it. The FBI think that they're smart. But, if we leave it there, they'll have... The car will not move. They'll just be tracking that I never left. I don't want them to know, the next time I leave. So... we've outsmarted them, which Desiree, the idea was fickle at best. It was never going to work to begin with. It was dumb to send the car back anyway. And then he tells Daikon, go on, check on the car and send Ruth back to me because I got to talk to my girl. Meanwhile, Ruth and Elder Mother are talking, and Ruth wants to show her something. And Elder Mother's like, I'm not going nowhere with you, girl. What you got to show me? What's the problem? What you want? And Ruth claims that she gave her sandwich to one of the hogs out back, and now he's just deathly ill, and that just confirms that you put something in my food. Now, we know the sandwich didn't end up with the hog, but this is what we're going to go with. Ruth has to play with your mind to see if you try to cover your tracks, which will confirm that you did do something to the sandwich, right? And then she tells Elder Mother, like, so you're threatening the life of me and the Highest's only true heir? Like, do you know what he is willing to do to protect us? You don't want to do that. And Elder Mother, one to not be outdone, has not admitted to nothing, during this whole exchange. And then Ruth is like, well, I'm going to go tell the Highest. Like, she's threatening to go tell the Highest. I doubt that she ever will, but she's handing out that threat again I'm assuming to kind of get Elder Mother to get to action to confirm that she has done something to this sandwich. All right. Andrew don't see it for Desiree. He has no words. She's accusing him of unaliving Deputy Polk, and he's like, girl, whatever. And then she goes on to claim, like, Mac told me that you did do it, and he's not buying it. Like, you already did the he say, she said telephone game. It's not working. It has never worked. You got to find a new strategy. Either way, he's like, all right, cool. You want to know the information? Here's the information. I did not do anything to Deputy Polk. I was just tasked with cleaning it up. There's a girl at the Rakadushi camp that they, planted with him to get information. Her name is Melinda. She is the one that stabbed him. Where his body is, I have no idea. Can't tell you. That was so many seasons and episodes ago. I can't tell you either. He tells her that, listen, you are not listening to me. Do not go in there guns a-blazing. If you do, all of those people's lives are going to be on your hands. You're going to get fired, and you're going to take the fall for it. So I'm telling you that I'm the only person that can help you. I'm the only person that has successfully. You know what? He's right. Well, one of the few people that has successfully navigated the system and infiltrated the cult, and you have me locked up. I can help you. I know the ins and outs. Now, I feel Desiree because I don't really know how to trust him, because once he gets back there, there's not much you can do to regain him. I don't know. Andrew is giving Zane. And by that I mean it's giving that they don't buy it, but they do. Depends on the data. Like they're always like one incident from slipping back into the beliefs. And that's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. But I just feel like right now Andrew is in his sound mind and he could be of assistance. Not only that, the FBI makes deals with unalivers and mob bosses and all these type of people daily. What's one more person? Even if he did do it, let him do his time, but let him also help you because he can be of assistance. Maybe he still has to go to prison because, the Brian and his wife thing. All right, you're guilty on that one. So cool. But in the meantime, let's just maybe buy you some favor with the judge by you helping us out with this. That would be my take. But what do I know? I'm not going to ever be an investigative cop or anything of that matter. So, yeah. And that's where he left that at. Again, he really didn't have much for her other than warning her not to go in there, guns a-blazing. All right, Elder Mother has mixed up some sort of tincture, liquid, whatever it is. Yeah, she's mixed some sort of drink, and she tells Zane, like, hey, go pour this concoction in the big hog in his water and make sure he drinks all of it. And so this is the confirmation, like, yes, you did do something to that sandwich. Now, I don't know if Ruth is going to get this validation unless Zane is able to tell her. But either way, she's going to go and give this to the hog, and we could later learn that he's going to drink it. And Zane is going to tell Elder Mother, like, he didn't appear to be sick. He was just walking around, like he was just fine, which is going to confirm to Elder Mother, like, nothing was ever wrong. Ruth just needed you to kind of pseudo admit that this is what you did to her. All right. Malcolm sees Ruth, and, they're passing each other, and Ruth knows what Malcolm looks like, and he's like, good morning, sister. And he's kind of low-key, like, begging her. He's playing the role like he's a part of the compound, but he's also begging her, like, chill, mama, don't even say nothing, right? And so he gets out of he was able to get out of the hole that's in the gate to escape, and he's made it outside of the fence, and Ruth is watching, and Ruth sees that, but she has to go on about her business. So Malcolm has escaped for now, but, by the end of the episode, we'll talk about it, but he's gotten off of the compound. So congratulations. Now, if anybody should have made it off of the compound, it shouldn't have been Malcolm. Malcolm is an awful person, y'all. Y'all got to think back, like, to all the episodes with, like, sleeping. Malcolm slept with everybody's wife. Every other FBI agent, he slept with their wives and, giving them drugs. He's done a whole lot of grimy stuff, so you should not make it out alive. And I hope you don't. That's just me. That's me. Tell me what y'all tell me know what y'all think about it. Tell me no. Let me know what y'all think about it. Girl, put the wine down. All right. Ruth overhears Daikon telling some of the men that, telling Lewis and company that some other men went out to buy a safe, and that when it gets here, you need to bring it immediately to the Highest's trailer on the compound. And Lewis, and then he tells Ruth, like, hey, the Heist is looking for you. You need to go to him. So Lewis, everybody knows, like, something got to shake today, because once that safe gets in there, nobody's going to have access. Hold on, though. Because by the end of the episode, we're going to know that Lewis, he ain't as fecal-minded as we all thought he was. Either way, Lewis knows that the safe, it can't make it inside because they won't be able to get to the money, so he's got to come up with the plan. And so now they got to go find Manny, because he's one of the gate guards, and we need to bring him back into the plan officially to give him his, his leg of the race. All right. Meanwhile, Ruth goes to the Highest, and she almost messes up, saying that the baby is kicking and all this other stuff. Jack laying on thinking, he was like, well, so soon. And she kind of glances it off. She's like, yeah, he's active. And then he shows her a brochure. Y'all, this scene, it's going to be rough for me. This particular scene was so rough for me. I stopped it. I knew where it was going, and I stopped it a couple times, and I had to rewatch it a couple times because it made my skin crawl, and it made me physically nauseous. It pissed me off because people really be doing shit like this in real life, and I feel like we need to bring back like stoning and firing squads for people like this, but let's talk about it. Either way, he shows her a brochure, and it is of a hotel that he has bought. Now, a couple episodes ago, when the $1 million went missing while they were at the bank, I figured, oh, he had partially paid out the hotel, and he needs the rest of the money, for the upkeep or to finish the payment or whatever it was. That is not the case. He has paid with these children as a down payment. And he is proud of this hotel. And so that's another, little piece of information that Ruth has to get to the girls, to get to her daughter and Tally's daughter, right? And he says that his birth mother used to work at that hotel as a woman of the evening. She worked there in his youth, and that the owner is some old white perv, right? And he is dying, and he's willing to sell the hotel to the Highest. And he's willing to sell it to the Highest for $1.5 million and for some of the children in exchange. So not only do you have to pay this man $1.5 million, you have to gift him some of these people's children. Yeah. And so he tells her, like, yeah, I sent all of the children there as a down payment, as a placeholder until I get this $1.5 million. And then he, oh, no. So he sees that kind of her countenance has changed, and he says, oh, he don't want all the kids. He don't want them all. He only wants the young girls, all the ones over 14 years old. Now, if I can visualize Ruth's daughter, I doubt that she's 14. She appears to be a little small girl, maybe about 6, 7. If I'm mistaken, talk about it in the comments. Either way, he says that we all have to grow up at some point. As if, y'all, I'm laughing and I'm smiling, but I'm getting so homicidal about it. It pisses me off. Anyway, he says that we all have to grow up at some point, as if impending sexual trauma is some form of growing up, is some rite of passage. However, I'm trying not to hold him accountable, because this has been his life. And so maybe this is what his warped mind believes, right? So I'm not gonna haul off on the act if I meet him in real life, because I know there's a separation, right? Maybe. Okay. And he says that the old guy has been touching him since he was 6 years old. And that the children, like I said, are the down payment to hold that place until the money comes along. And that the rest of them are going to join the children very soon. He still doesn't give her, he didn't come up off no address, so she doesn't know exactly where this place is. Now me, I'd have to get a copy of that brochure, figure out some kind of reverse engineering. We know that Joan has a computer. She got access to the internet because she's doing all this accounting and finagling. We'd have to utilize some resources to kind of reverse engineer and figure out where this place is. That's me. But either way, he doesn't give an actual address. But what she does do is she encourages him to share the new prophecy with the rest of the followers so that they can have something to look forward to. She don't really give a damn. She just needs you to get out of there so they can get that money. And then the highest already has a name picked out for his only child. He was going to name him 7, and now he's going to name him 1. Whatever. I don't really give a damn about the name of that child that doesn't even exist. Again, this particular scene, uncomfortable. Very much uncomfortable. Unfortunately, realistic as far as the traumatized becoming the one to hand out the trauma. Definitely pissed me off, because if you know that this is what this person has done to you, why do you give him a free reign of all these children until you come up with $1.5 million? Because yeah, he only wants the 14-year-olds, but you sent him a gang of children to be at his whim, his beck and call, his discretion, until you get your financial affairs in order. Pissed me off. And I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm just gonna let it go, because I'm just gonna leave it alone. But yeah, very much uncomfortable, very much hopefully something that is running through Ruth's mind as well, to add some urgency to getting at least those 2 up out of there. You can't save them all, but at least getting those 2 up out of there, or handing that information over to somebody that can kind of storm in and get those children from that hotel at some point. All right, Peter is finally able to pry himself loose, and he rushes over to help his lover up off the ground, girl. And Peter tells them that this is their only chance. They got to get up out of there, because they know it's dire. Peter has already lost Aaron. Peter has cut Malcolm loose, and Malcolm is gone. Like, Peter is on his lifeline, so Peter needs to also do like Malcolm and get up out of Dodge. And so, he's telling River, we have to go right now or never. Like, if we stay, it's over for us. And River is like, he still can't go. This is your out, because if Malcolm made it, then hell, you shouldn't make it too, or die trying. But he's so inundated with that money, he's not gonna go. And Peter feels played all over again. He's like, listen, you played me yet again. And he goes off to hauls up and slap him. And River's like, well, don't hit me ever again. Child, thought you was gonna hit him back, pinch him or something. He ain't even do nothing. And then Peter's like, okay, cool. Like, I'm done with you. I'm through with you. And locks his ass in the trailer. So now you done got yourself locked away in the midst of your escape plan. Like, River is pissing me off. I need you to just lay low and await further instruction. Like you were trying to do Zane. I doubt that he was ever going to leave Zane. I just thought he would just give her information. He was giving her information like on an as-needed basis. And then when shit popped off, he was going to grab her and be like, hey, girl, we got the plan. We finna go. Come on. We ain't got time to talk. That's going to have to be your role, because you keep messing up the church's money, and it is annoying me. All right. So Lewis and company, they go to Manny and tell him, listen, we got a problem and you have a role. They need Manny to run interference on this safe that's coming into the camp. And Manny's like, okay, he names the people that went to get the safe. So he's a relationship with those 2 people. And so even better, they need him to get the key or the combination or the book or something that's going to give them insight on that safe, because they're not going to be able to stop the safe from coming in. They already know that's going to be too obvious. They can't stop the safe from coming into the compound. And Manny has no idea why he's doing it, but Lewis is like, listen, just do your part and you'll be pleasantly surprised that, why we're asking you to do this. Just do this and, you back in on the plan. Don't ask too many questions. And so Manny's like, okay, cool. I'm with the gang. I'm with the team. So I'm going to do my part. All right. Zane did what Elder Mother asked her to do, like I said, with the hog. And so Elder Mother realized that nothing was actually ever really wrong with the hog to begin with. And then she tries to, further poison Daikon's mind against Ruth, saying that they need to protect the highest, and that she knows that River and Ruth are always spending so much time with the highest, and that used to be them. And she knows, the relationship between Daikon and the highest, and she's like, well, you don't feel no way about Ruth? And, he plays it coy, like, that's what he wants. No, whatever makes him happy. Sure. And then she's like, well, yeah, but it looks like River and Ruth are trying to replace me and you. And, we got to do something because we're the only people that know how to take care of him. Whatever. And Daikon is like, well, I'm not expendable. I don't know what you are, but me, girl, I'm not expendable. And so Elder Mother's like, okay. So now everybody trying to get rid of the old lady. Everybody trying to get rid of me. And I don't, she was like, I don't need Ruth replacing me blah, 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 blah. And she thinks that, once that baby's here, that's going to set off more chain reactions of her further being pushed to the left and her being pushed out. Now, girl, not that long ago, you didn't even believe the roof was knocked up. I guess she was able to trick you as well, huh? Because you don't know as much as you think you know. Either way, now she wants to conspire with Daikon on this baby thing so that they can kind of keep their spot solidified. And Daikon is like, he don't want no parts. He don't want no parts with the old lady, with the roof. However, he's correcting her pronunciation. And I put for now in my notes because I feel like Daikon doesn't want anything to do with it for now. But if things get too contentious between him and Ruth, he might be willing to participate. I just feel like maybe he's willing to participate. So I just put for now. He don't want nothing to do with the elder mother's plan to get rid of that baby that Ruth has for the time being. The proverbial baby, quote unquote. All right. Malcolm is running through the woods and he looks emaciated. He looks like if the wind blew, he'd fall over. Either way, he gets to a car and I'm not apologizing. I would like to offer an apologize. I would like to offer an apology to Malcolm because I did not believe he had a car in the woods, but he goes to a car. Now, I don't know when he put that car there. No idea. He's been there so long, I couldn't even begin to tell you. Either way, he gets to the car and there's no tires on there. It's all torn apart and broken. So the car is broken down. So I don't know if he really had that car in there, if he stumbled upon it. Either way, it doesn't appear that he have a plan B. He just fell out on the ground because I don't know if it's from exhaustion or if it's from that sandwich. Either way, it ain't looking good for your boy Malcolm. You don't have a car to get away. You got these soldiers that are tracking the woods at all times. So that's going to be difficult for you if you're going to head out on foot. That sandwich is probably going to get the best of you because who in the hell knows what's in there. So Malcolm might be done for and I'm not sad about it. All right. Daikon goes to Ruth and she tells him about the highest's desire to have a prophecy at dinner tonight, and he wants all the guards and everybody there, and he's like, I know what needs to happen for his prophecies. Don't tell me what to do. Okay, cool. He's also mad because she's carrying a child that she once told him was his. Now, my memory ain't really the best, which is why I'll be having like 5 pages of notes over in this laptop because I can't remember shit. Either way, I don't ever recall Ruth telling him that baby was his. Now, if y'all want to comment the season, the episode, so I can go back and watch it, please do so. I don't remember it. Either way, he's upset because, once upon a time, he thought that baby was his. And he reminds her, like, listen, I'm also darker than the both of you. And if that baby shows up and he looking like my chocolatey self, the highest ain't no fool and we're going to have a lot of problems. And Ruth is reaffirming to him, like, I'm 100% sure that is the highest baby. I don't know what to tell you. Go on about your business and have a good day. Again, we are all speaking as if this baby actually exists when in fact it does not. All right. The safe family shows up and Manny is able to convince the other guy to let him inspect it. And so he's like, well, what is this? And he's like, he's asking rapid fire questions. And that was pissing me off. Like, where'd you get it from? How much did it cost? Who's the manufacturer? And the other guy's looking like, just the delivery aspect of this thing. I don't know. And so he's like, all right, well, you go get in the truck. I'll do my inspection and then y'all can go on. And so he's able to grab what appears to be like the manual out the inside of the safe, which is going to be very beneficial because you're not going to learn the combination because I'm sure they're going to put in their custom combination. But sometimes the safes, they have like a clearing number, like you can put in all zeros or 1, 2, 3, 4, and that'll clear it out. So you can put a new code in so you can open it in case you forget it. Some kind of way, to be able to crack this thing once it gets inside the thing. Now, if y'all set up y'all little robbery scheme tonight, you might be able to do it, while he's doing his prophecy and never end up having to use the safe. But again, I think that Lewis is smart in asking him to get that information because just in case the plan don't go out tonight, you'll be able to get into the safe at a later date. Very much smart. All right. Ruth sees the safe has come rolling in and she tells Lewis, listen, it's got to happen tonight. Your people better be ready. He's like, we got it. We got some things in the work. He ain't really give it a full plan, but I got you. I told you I got you. Calm down. All right. Desiree and Cal finally get the approval from the senator for the warrant but it's still going to take some time, you know, for the paperwork to process or whatever. And they're about to head out for the evening, right? And the sheriff and Mac are standing there like, we're about to head out to lunch. Not the evening, to lunch. We're about to go to lunch. Y'all need anything? And Desiree is like, no, I don't want nothing. And then the sheriff calls, right? The senator. Senator calls and tells her that Andrew is hiding behind a diner, in a dumpster, behind a dumpster or whatever, across the street from the station because he's afraid to come in. And then he runs down everything about the sheriff and Mac. And then she kind of tells Cal in code, like, hey, I need you to go to the car and get that thing, you know, that I need you to get. And so Cal's going to go off to whisk Andrew. I thought they should have risked, not Andrew, Aaron. They should have risked him away, but they're going to bring him into the sheriff's office, to the station, right? And Cal goes to get him. Again, she's still on the phone talking to the senator. He's like, listen, y'all need to tell me something. I need to know what's going on. Blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, Mac and the sheriff, I don't know if they can overhear the conversation, but they're standing there like, what's going on? Like, do you need something? And then she tells them, like, yeah, y'all stay put. I think I'm going to put in a food order. I think she wants them to just stand there until Aaron gets back so that they can be faced with Aaron, because Aaron knows that both of them are corrupt, right? And so moments later, Cal and Aaron walk back in, and the sheriff and Mac look appalled, right? But something didn't sit right in my spirit. Something didn't sit right in my spirit about it. And I think something didn't sit right in Aaron's spirit about it. And the last question I put in my notes is Desiree and Cal one of those two? Have y'all been turned? I don't know if it's Cal or I don't know if it's Desiree, but I did not see the point in bringing him into the station. He's your secret weapon. He's kind of like your witness protection. He's the person that y'all need. That's y'all secret weapon when it comes to testifying. And you brought him in full daylight to the two people that's damn near killed him. That don't make sense to me, because what's going to happen is they're probably going to have to try to silence Aaron, or we can get into a shootout, you know, between the FBI and the local authorities, right here in the middle of this thing. So I don't know, y'all. I just feel like, I don't know if it's Desiree or Cal. I feel like Desiree was asking a whole lot of questions and doing a whole lot of things. She might not be the one. Maybe it's Cal. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I just feel like one of them have turned, and now they got their hands on Aaron, and now all three of them, the sheriff, Mac, and whichever one of the two have turned or gone rogue, have Aaron in their grasp. Now, I don't know how she's going to explain that to the senator, because she is verbally on the phone telling the senator that she sent someone to get him. And so you're going to be the last people to see Aaron. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. That's how the episode ended. Like I said, if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it in the comments. Let me know what you think about the episode. That's been season 4, episode 18 of Ruthless. Like, comment, share, subscribe, or whatever it is you feel like doing, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.